Man, JavaScript was a beast. I couldn't tame it when I first started. Ever felt like you're absorbing all this information but it's just not sticking, like pouring water into a leaky bucket? I wasn't about to quit. No way. So what did I do? I threw money at another fancy course. They promised it all click. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Every time I hit the wall, I think, is this what's gonna keep me from landing that dream dev job? I'd hop to another tutorial, another article, seeking that magic aha moment. But all I got was this illusion of progress. Turns out I was running before I could walk. I've been there and trust me, I've got your back. Here are 5 tips to ensure you don't fall into the same pitfalls on your coding journey. Alright, the first one, let's break this down. When you are learning, say, functions, you are probably shown the basics. A function that takes 2 numbers, adds or multiplies them, simple stuff, right? But here's the twist. These examples are picked for a reason. They are easy for beginners, but they are a trap. You think you've nailed it, slack off and bam, you are in a rut. You buy courses, binge watch tutorials, and yet you feel stuck. Familiar? Imagine renaming our basic multiply function to calculate calories. Swap out parameters A and B for macronutrient and grams. Now you're calculating calories based on the gram content. Feels real, doesn't it? Next thing you know, you are churning out functions for proteins, fats, and carbs. Instead of a boring add function, you've got a create food function, adding up those macros. The momentum doesn't stop there. Roll out a calculate meal function, combining those foods, then sum up meals with calculate day calories. This is how you make coding concepts truly stick. By the way, bro, if you are serious about coding, you should apply for my mentorship program where I get way deeper into these concepts. This coaching program is tailored for beginners who want to break into a 6-figure remote developer career. If you want to check out the program before you join, click the second link in the description. Now the next tip is, do you know Conor McGregor? Yeah, that flashy MMA fighter notorious for his fierce punches and even fiercer predictions. Now you're probably scratching your head thinking, why are we talking fights and not functions? Bear with me for a second, it's all gonna make sense. This lad, McGregor, had his uncanny knack for not only predicting his wins, but the exact round he'd knock his opponents out. Sounds like magic, right? But his real secret weapon wasn't just in his fists, it was tucked away in his mind. You see, Conor is a massive believer in the power of mental rehearsal. Before facing an opponent in the octagon, he'd intensely visualize every jab, every duck, every winning move, playing it all out in his mind. He wasn't just daydreaming, he was building neural pathways, getting ready for the real deal. And here's the kicker, our brains are incredibly powerful and they don't really differentiate between doing something in reality and doing it in our minds. Whether McGregor was practicing in the gym or in his head, his brain was hard at work, solidifying those neural pathways, preparing him for victory. Now I hear you ask, alright, cool story, bro, but how's that gonna help me debug this JavaScript function? Let me lay it out for you. Imagine being stuck on a piece of code. Instead of drowning in frustration or diving into another tutorial, take a leaf out of McGregor's book, close your eyes and visualize writing that flawless code. Debug it in your mind, step by step. Picture that euphoria of seeing your code run without hitches. Because here's the magic part, whether you are coding at your keyboard or coding in your mind, your brain is still crafting those neural pathways. Each mental run-through is like a gym rep for your brain. So when you eventually sit to code, you've already been there and done that. And next time you feel like you are hitting a wall, remember McGregor. Step back, visualize and mentally rehearse that code, and soon enough you might just find yourself predicting your own coding victories. Now back in the day I remember visiting my grandma's house. Now if you ever been to an old school kitchen, you know that they rarely ever stocked up like our modern day supermarkets. One day I peeked into her pantry, just 3 to 4 ingredients, and I was puzzled. What's for dinner, Grandma? She just winked, and a few hours later, to my amazement, 3 mouth-watering dishes were on the table from just those few ingredients. You see, Grandma knew something fundamental. It's not about how much you have, but what you do with what you've got. As a beginner, it's easy to get lost in the vast sea of knowledge It's tempting to keep adding more ingredients to your plate. But remember, grandma, it's all about making the most out of a little. Take those basic coding concepts that you've grasped and put them to work. Reuse them. Get creative. Push them in different directions. Don't just learn to code, learn to create with code. It's like cooking. Sometimes the simplest ingredients, when combined right, make the most delicious dishes. Volume, my friends. Keep practicing, keep reusing, keep building. Each project, each line of code refines that knowledge, hones that skill, and sharpens that creativity. And here's a nugget to chew on. The best ingredients won't make you a Gordon Ramsay. It's the passion, the creativity, and the relentless practice that does. Now, let's dive deep into a topic that's pretty close to my heart. That is comparison. Yeah, that sneaky little gremlin that whispers in your ear telling you that you're not good enough. Imagine this, you are scrolling through Reddit or a social media post on Instagram and you see a post from someone younger than you boasting about their amazing new job at Google. You instantly feel deflated. Why am I not there yet? You might be asking yourself. And here's the thing, comparing your journey to someone else is like comparing apples and spaceships. You see, every coder's journey is unique. Everyone starts at a different point in life with a different set of circumstances, challenges, and resources. Your beginning might be someone else's middle, and trust me, that's okay. The real comparison should only come into play when you're gearing up to get a job. Why? Because companies, as harsh as it might sound, aren't looking for a sad story. They are not going to hire you based on the hardships you faced. They are looking for what you can bring to the table right now. Can you get a job done? Do you have the skills? Are you a good fit for their team? It's not about compassion, it's about capability. So, to my aspiring devs out there, remember this. Your journey is yours alone, learn from it, grow with it, and when the time comes, showcase your skills and how far you've come, because in the end, nobody cares where you started. They care about where you are and where you're headed. Do you remember the first time you felt the weight of that new shiny gym dumbbell in your hand? Or the time you tried riding a bike uphill, or the burn of spicy food? There's always that moment of realization, oh man, this is tough. And coding? Oh, it's not different. When you decided to dive into the world of coding, somewhere deep down, you knew it wouldn't be a cakewalk. You anticipated challenges, the long hours of staring at the screen, debugging the same line over and over, the coffee going cold, the Red Bull going warm beside you. You weren't expecting the journey to be hard. It's in these very moments of struggle, when everything feels like an uphill battle, that true growth happens. It's when you are pushed beyond your limits that you discover what you are truly made of. So instead of shying away from the tough parts, embrace them, because every time you overcome a challenge, you're not just leveling up in coding, you're leveling up in life. Next time when you want to achieve a new goal, like getting in shape, making more money, doubling your salary, you'll know that you'll experience the same problems as you are in coding, but now you have the coding experience that's going to help you level up in those areas as well. So you are just building out your character. And remember, if it were easy, everyone would do it, but they don't. You do. Okay, stay strong, stay fierce, and keep pushing through, because now you truly know what hard feels like. And guess what? You've got what it takes to conquer it. You just need to find it. Every time you read a negative comment, understand this. That person will soon quit. Your competition is quitting in front of you. Smile. This is what you want. Many start. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands start, but very few finish. That's why there is the 1%. There's the 1% everywhere. In coding, in the world of business. A lot of people have aspirations and dreams and goals just like you, but not all of them are willing to do what it takes. If you wanna do this the right way, if you wanna learn programming, JavaScript fast so you can actually get a job without being frustrated by the things that frustrate you right now, if you want a clear roadmap, a mentor, accountability, a community, almost daily meetings where you can ask your questions, a place where you can actually grow as a developer into this new career, then you should apply for a free consultation call to be part of my mentorship program. That's the first link in the description. If you want to check the program before you apply, that's fine. That's the second link in the description. We have a few courses in there. You can see our live calls, you can see the community, you can see how everyone is crushing it. If you want to be a part of it, then that's the first link. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Boom.